This is like the 70th time I have tried this. This big booty hoe about to break this container thing I'm on. I just moved to Utah and I don't even have chairs when I don't have room for chairs in this cute but tiny little place. So hopefully this big booty hoe doesn't break this thing while we're on it. If not, bloopers. Hey my pretties. This is a probably most requested video. This is going to be about health and wellness. Let me preface this with, I am not a doctor. I am not a nurse. This is not medical professional advice. This is what has worked for me, and this is my journey. These are things that I have been asked to share because it has helped people along the way with similar or the same struggles. And that is the whole reason I started this page, is because I'm so sick of seeing these Instagram, TikTok, social media platforms where people are painting this perfect picture life. That's not real. So I'm trying to make this real, and I'm not sponsored by any of these people. I mean, if you guys want to in the future, because I do love your products, I am all about that. ain't past that. But no, this is just what works for me, and it's what works right now. It could change, you know, that's the journey, right? That's part of figuring out what works for you. This is also like the 17th time I have tried to do this. I could talk about this stuff all day. So if I sound robotic in this, it's because I'm trying to narrow it down. Most of you know, and I'll do a whole nother about me video, but I am an esthetician. I specialize mainly in skincare and skincare conditions because I have autoimmune and skincare conditions up the wazoo. And honestly, once I took chemistry in school, it just clicked, and I was like, they're trying to poison us and they are bamboozling us. So I am also a market specialist / freelancer, which basically means I go all over Sephora's, Ulta's, and Nordstrom and educate and help people with skincare and makeup. Every time I'm in there, I see somebody who, there we go. Big booty hoe breaking shit. We're just gonna leave it. What was I saying? Every day I'm in there, I find somebody who is going through the same type of struggles and is like, wow, okay. Okay, anyways, I knew it was gonna break. Whatever. I like my big booty. Okay. Anyways, so every day when I am in a store, I get somebody who's like, can I get your Instagram? Do you have a podcast? Something like that. They want to hear more about this. So that's why I'm making this video. So I apologize if I sound robotic. I can go on a tangent. Speaking of, I also ran out of my thyroid medication. So I can get kind of brain foggy. So, but hey, back to this is what's real, right? So at 18, did I already go over this? I'm so sorry. 18, I've always struggled a little bit with weight. Always been a little bit thicker. I specifically didn't do soccer or running sports in high school because I got so muscly, and in the 90s, you know, it was the heroin chic, right? I was not. I was thicker, which I appreciate now, but I was like, yeah, I can't have thick legs and a big booty. That's not in. So I specifically didn't do sports because I tend to get muscly, and I'm 4'11", so I felt like I look like SpongeBob caveman. Anyways, tangent done. At 18, I went an entire year without my cycle, my period, and I was gaining weight like crazy and just felt hormonally off at 18. I went to multiple gynecologists and doctors, and they were all like, you're fine, you're 18, you're young, it's not a big deal. They just put me on birth control to start my period. It would work for a month or two, and then it would stop again. I would go back in and I would insist something was wrong, and they would do the same thing. Finally, after a year, I demanded a blood panel, and a week later, I get a voicemail, by the way, and they told me that I had PCOS. Of course, Googling it, death, and everything that goes with it, barren, all these issues it told me. Totally freaked me out. Went back to a doctor. It was a male. Also, sorry, you're gonna not like my opinion on most doctors. I haven't had a great experience with mainstream doctors, is what it is. He was a male and tried to tell me, yeah, all you can do is eat right and exercise, quit complaining, basically, not knowing anything about hormones, PMS, anything like that. I was also, so what PCOS is polycystic ovarian syndrome. I know it sounds like it has to do with your ovaries, but honestly, it's a blood sugar issue. You're insulin resistant. So if you're a woman and you know you suffer from PMS, it is hormonal, but it's also blood sugar, right? So bottomless pit, raging hormones, tired, crazy fatigue. You crave when you know, you're, at least the way we grew up, we didn't understand eating right would make a huge difference. So when you're PMSing and you're craving sugar, chocolate, you know, all these things that you're craving, it's your hormones. Sugar and sour things is anxiety. Chocolate is blood sugar, and I can't remember what else. Again, my prescription's gone on my thyroid, so my brain fog. And then of course you're wanting carbs and all these things because you're tired and the yo-yo. But it's mainly a blood sugar issue. And so yes, if you can be very strict and regulate that, it will help. And then obviously losing weight is easier on your body. Yes, it will help, but it's getting there that's hard. So I got that, dealt with that. I had never in my life had acne. I got horrible cystic acne. Went to a dermatologist. Dermatologist tried to put me on more hormones. I'm like, yeah, I have a hormone issue. That's not what I want. I'm also 18. I don't want tretinoin. I don't need that. So I figured out research-wise what would work for my skin and made stuff at home. That helped a lot. And changed my diet and started working out. I will also say at 18, I started drinking alcohol, and that probably triggered it. That it's probably one of the worst things you could do for autoimmune, to be honest, but YOLO. Sorry, I'm saying so much. So a year goes by and still gaining weight, all these other issues, go back to a doctor. And I asked, from doing research on PCOS, I also started hearing about thyroid. So I demanded to get my blood work done, my labs done on my thyroid. Came back once and he said, you're really not that far off. You're young. Wouldn't worry about it. Went back and demanded to get it done again. And, you know, I have a copy here, and I can do a whole separate video talking about labs. I do now use a company myself because I had to learn to read these, because I would go to the lab place that they sent me to. I never even saw my lab work. It's my blood work. It's my labs. And I never saw it, and they would look at it and be like, yeah, you're fine. So I started getting my own done. I did have a friend at the time who was an NP, and she did help me like break down and figure out how to read these things. And the one thing that she did point out for somebody with now getting into Hashimoto's, which is autoimmune, it's where your body attacks your thyroid. She did point out my blood work, like my T3s, your testosterone, all those things weren't too far off, but my antibodies, your antibodies is what shows that you have an autoimmune, Hashimoto's. They're supposed to be at a 9 or under. Mine were at 793. So yeah, that means my body's attacking my thyroid. I have an autoimmune. And it came out later that, yeah, a lot of people are like, yeah, my blood work wasn't that far off and whatnot. So I got put on levothyroxine, hated it. From the beginning, again, intuitively was like, this is not my jam. I ain't digging this. Like, it would work for a little bit and then it would stop. And it was synthetic. I don't know, I just didn't like it. It got so bad to the point to where I would go back and get my blood work and they'd be like, yeah, we're gonna change. And then anyone else who knows the struggles with, you go to a pharmacist and you ask for your prescription, insurance or not. Half this time I had insurance, half this time I didn't. And they'd be like, oh, we're out. You're going to have to try something else or you're going to have to wait. And when you're dependent on something like that, it messes up your body so much. I finally went off everything. And when I lived in Idaho, I went off of it and just did like a supplement. And yeah, I struggled quite a bit. I did eat really, really clean when I lived in Idaho. That was awesome. I lived in like the, sound like a cuckoo. Well, whatever, I am a macadamia. I rented the basement of my brother's house and he hunted. And so we had fresh elk meat and they had a garden and you would just literally go out and pick everything for dinner. And it was just amazing. I miss that lifestyle. I was able to really get it under control. Then moved back to Vegas and my friend was like, I don't know how you live without this. Finally went back on one. She convinced me because it was a natural one. It's called NP Thyroid. I will say I do like it. It's natural pig. It's a pig thyroid. So I do like it. Other than here I am back with no insurance and all of a sudden they're deciding to charge me $150 a month for a thyroid medication. That's just insane to me. So I'm probably going to try and go back off of it and try natural things again, but we'll see. Baby steps. But those are my two main autoimmune. And basically those two together, and I don't know if anybody knows about your thyroid, but what your thyroid does is it basically sends signals to all of your other bodies for functions, mainly your brain. It's going to cause anxiety, sleepless nights, weight gain or weight loss, depending if you have hyper or hypo. Hypo is slow. Think of hippo. Hypo, like slow down, which is what I have. Or hyper is where your thyroid is overactive and you lose weight and have anxiety, heart palpitations, and sleepless nights, weight gain, fog, stuttering, headaches, anxiety, depression. All those are part of it. Also, to go even further, my mom, growing up, had fibromyalgia, which is a blanket statement. Like, we don't know what the hell's wrong with you. Sorry about you, look. And I'm pretty sure, excuse me, she had Hashimoto's, and we can thank Big Farm for just pushing painkillers on everybody. They just gave her Loratabs. They're like, oh, we'll just give you Loratabs and you can deal with that. So that's what she was on, and she struggled with going off of those. She's like, this isn't healthy. She'd go off of them. She also, I don't know if it was from that or she had neck surgery. She would have seizures. Anyways, my mom passed away from catching pneumonia and passing away in her sleep. Pretty sure she had it because all 4 of us kids have it. We all have Hashimoto's, and it's pretty sure it's hereditary and you can pass it along. So there's a little side note for that. So with constant weight gain from both being insulin resistant and the thyroid, the fatigue, the brain fog, the depression, the anxiety, and then seeing how much better I lived a clean lifestyle in Idaho, I try to implement that as much as I can in my life. Obviously, the world we live in, nothing that's good for us is easily available or affordable. Don't get me down that rabbit hole of pesticides and stuff, but so there's my story and what has led me down this road of health and wellness. So if you made it past that, congratulations. Here we go. So here are some of my favorite things that help me. One is, I did stop drinking just because the insulin resistant, the weight gain, everything's already so hard on all my organs. Like I don't need that. So I stopped that, and I also stopped with heavy caffeine. I was drinking 2 Celsiuses a day. That's a little wild. My favorite is the rainbow sherbet, but anyways, so I stopped drinking tons of caffeine, and now I have been put on to these, oh, avalanche. They're called loaded teas. These are my favorite, and this is like their 4th of July special. These are like Kool-Aid for adults. These are amazing. So what these are is, they sound fun like alcohol. They're not. They are green tea. Let's see. I have 2 different brands. So this one is mainly, good Lord, green tea and white tea. And then it also is going to have vitamins in it. So vitamin B, D, C, and collagen in it, and stevia, so natural sweetener. They're 15 calories. They are amazing. You just put it in some water and they taste amazing. I absolutely love them. And they have really good flavors. This one is called Sweet Freedom. It's cherry, strawberry, kiwi, blue, raspberry. And for someone who grew up on Kool-Aid, absolutely love these. But I started with drinking 1 of these a day, and now I am down to drinking half of 1 of these a day. I cannot believe that. But they give me my vitamins on top of my other supplements I take, and it's there's not like a crazy crash, and I'm not jittery, and it doesn't keep me up at night, which is another thing I've suffered from. But yeah, these are fun. I won't lie, these are not cheap. So when I say if you want to send me some, these are amazing. I do like them, but yeah, they're not cheap. But that being said, these ones they are my favorite, but they do have red dye 40, and so I try to not drink these ones as much, and I tend to go for these other ones from the brand called the Loaded Tea Shop. These are even more expensive because they're even better for you, but they have tons of great flavors. I will admit the flavoring in the Loaded Tea, the Caffeine, Candles and Chaos, these ones are better flavors. These ones taste good, but because they're healthier, they're not as good. So same thing though, these ones have your green tea, white tea. Let me find, sorry, I should have had this. It has vitamins B3, B5, B6, B9, B12, D3, K2, and aloe vera powder. One thing I have noticed with aloe vera powder is I think it's helping my hair grow, and it's really helping my like my gut. But I really do think it's helping with the strength of my hair and stuff. But these ones have no red dye, and it has the collagen, aloe, and all the other vitamins in it. Again, they just, some of the flavors are a little too natural for me. I like a little bit of artificial in there. But yeah, these ones are 0 calories, so way better for you. So I do love those too. So again, you want to sponsor Hook a Girl Up, I would say these are probably the better fit. But both of them, these are great to start with too. Like, so if you're if you have a sweet tooth, start with these. This is better than, and look, now I'm down to half of one of these a day. Like, that's, if you know me, I know I love sweet shit. I'm a Taurus, so absolutely love those. So that has helped sustain my energy without being jittery or a crazy crash in the afternoon. Absolutely love those. I also take a D3 supplement. With autoimmune, you're usually low on that anyway, so I take one of these every day. This helps my anxiety. I notice when I forget to take this, my anxiety comes back. I get sick. I'm sick right now. I love, this has made a huge change in my autoimmune. I also take vitamin C. This does not taste great. I like gag putting this down, but this is probably one of the healthiest ways I have found to take vitamin C every day. I also do like the emergencies. You just have to be careful because a little too much of that and you can have the side effects of too much vitamin C. I do also take vitamin B12 tablets as well for some energy. Those I don't take every day. I will take randomly, intuitively listen to my body. And then another thing I really love is milk thistle. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad at this. Milk thistle is great for your organs. So I go through phases where I stop drinking, and I started taking milk thistle when the last time I decided to stop drinking, and to help with my liver. And I noticed how that actually helped my hair grow as well. So another sign of thyroid issues is thinning hair. And so that's really helped with that. So those are like the main supplements I take. And then at nighttime, so another thing that you struggle with, and I mean, it's probably just trauma, and this girl got a lot of trauma, is insomnia and anxiety at night. I am that person. I will be falling asleep on the couch and I'll be like, go to bed. Second I put my head on that pillow, I'm like, in 3rd grade you said breast friend instead of best friend. Like, anxiety just hits me at night. These are amazing. I cannot tell you how much I love these, my precious, my little babies. This has changed everything. And thank you, Laura L-Dog, my bestie, for telling me about saffron. Spanish saffron. She got me some Spanish saffron from Trader Joe's, and I was putting that in tea at night, and I liked it, but I was just going through it so fast. So I found these at Ulta when I was working one day, and this has magnesium, saffron, ashwagandha, and L-theanine. These are all things that help with anxiety and helping you sleep, and it improves your sleep quality, helps reduce your stress, and lowers your cortisol levels. Everything. Waking up feeling rested is amazing, and I cannot tell you, this is new for me. Universe, don't do this. Every time I'm like, I conquered something, it likes to throw it back in my face. Also, living by myself when I don't have a fur baby. I get so scared at night. Also, you can't write this shit. Found out that the woman who lived here before was running a brothel out of here. She actually moved to Vegas to do sex work. Good luck with that. I've had randos knocking on my door at 5:30 in the morning. Also, I've watched way too much true crime in my life. I get scared at night. I actually sleep, and it's really helped manage my stress and my anxiety. I really like it. And it's melatonin free. I can't take melatonin. That gives me cray-cray dreams. Not a fan. So these are just like a packet. It's almost like hot chocolate. This one is mint and cocoa, the chocolate. You just mix it with some hot water or milk at nighttime, and like I've caught myself fighting going to bed. And I'm like, girl, it's working, go to sleep. So absolutely love these. Can't say enough about these. Again, shamelessly plug. If you want to sponsor me, you want to send me some, do it. Okay. K. So sorry I'm saying K and a lot. With that being said, I am also 40. 40 years young. I was struggling this last year. I quit drinking. I was eating healthier and I still couldn't lose weight. So I was scared that I was perimenopausal. Went to a doctor. They convinced me to get on a GLP-1. I did try semaglutide before. Did not work for me. Body did not like it. Did not lose any weight. Not a great experience. I did try tirzepatide, and it was like a woman's clinic. They were charging $100 a week just to get a shot. I tried this and it actually worked, tirzepatide. So the difference between semaglutide and tirzepatide is semaglutide only hits one of your GLPs, and tirzepatide hits both of your GLPs, which helps with food noise. Yes, I have food noise. I love food. I love anything. Again, I'm a Taurus. I love food, relaxation, all the finer things in life. I also was trying to fast, and then working during the, and in Vegas you work all day, you don't eat, and then you get home and then you end up binge eating or starving yourself, slowing your metabolism down, all kinds of things. I have really noticed this really does get rid of food noise. I was a skeptic. Don't get me started on vaccines and how the government's poisoning us and COVID, all these things. But I was really nervous to try it, but I'm glad I did. I'm down 30 pounds. I would say I have 20, 25 more to go to hit my goal weight. And it really helps with the food noise, not overeating. And it's really helped me now that I found it online. I use a company called Gimme Care, and I'll list all this in the description, but it's called Gimme Care. It is the cheapest place I have found. All these places are going to charge you a membership fee on top of the compound, the tirzepatide or the your GLP, and then you have to do this yourself. The one I found it's probably why it's the cheapest. You have to inject yourself with a needle. So you use your, and then you have to inject it with a needle yourself. So it ain't for the weary if you can't handle that, but I can do that. But every other place I had found was charging you $300, $400, $500, and then a membership fee on top of that. And then when you start at a low dose and you go up every month or every 2 months or whatever, they're going to charge you more. This is the only company I have found that does not charge you more. It is a standard $200 a month, and I actually really like it. Other than the, $200. If you can find a cheaper one without membership fees and the price doesn't go up the higher your dose, let me know. But I've looked into all of them and they're all very misleading. So with that, it helps with the food noise, and because it's expensive, and I'm paying for it out of pocket. I don't have insurance right now. It really makes you more disciplined. So I make sure that I drink tons of water and hydration. Yes, there is caffeine in these, but there's also hydration. I also drink a lot of the liquid IVs, and I love water in general. And then protein, tons of protein. It has made the biggest difference. my life has been pretty chaotic. I haven't been working out like crazy. I'm finally starting to feel like getting back into it, which I'll segue into what workouts I do. But walking at night was really helping. So those three things: movement, protein, hydration, and good sleep. And then magnesium. You want to make sure you take magnesium and eat something to help you sleep. That's going to help with cortisol levels. It is a life changer. I really do like it. Like I said, down 30 pounds. Now with that, you have to worry about the sunken in face and the saggy skin on top of being 40, and that's just what age does to us. I will say, also with autoimmune, you have to be careful you're not doing too much cardio because it's too hard on your body. So weight training is what's best for you. And so weight training for firmness helps. And then this place called Hotworks. But before, let me get into using a firming body cream that actually works is going to make a huge difference. Obviously, my favorite is going to be the Elemis body one. You've heard me talk about Elemis. I obviously love them. I am a market specialist for them. I will make that very clear. However, I love them. My first job ever, I was a spa attendant. They used a marine-based line called Phytoceon. It was amazing. If you ever go to a spa, they do seaweed wraps. Think of all the nutrients in the ocean. You're putting that in your body. Algae and squalene, and all the nutrients in seaweed, all of that, it will reduce cellulite. Big booty hoe need that. And it will also prevent aging. It's firm, it's supple. It is amazing. Sorry, don't hate me. This Maylee's line, there is nothing in this line that is firming. It's just hydration. It is wild to me how well this company does. Like, it doesn't do, it really doesn't. So this has tons of collagen, which the older you get, the more depleted you are. So this has collagen and the algae in it that's going to firm, reduce cellulite. I've been using it mainly on my arms and my booty. Now back to working out. The only thing that has actually worked for me is Pilates and yoga, strength training, and like weights. Let me tell you about Hotworks. I want to open up a chain. This place is amazing. It is a gym, and it has these individual saunas that can fit up to 2 to 3 people in one. And there's a TV, and it's like a personal sauna, and you get in there and you do these workouts. And my favorite is the Pilates, but they have like 9 saunas. You can do Pilates. They have a rowing machine that has actual water in it, water resistance, bar, abs, legs. Well, that's bar, but they have all these classes that you can take, and it has infrared. If you don't know the benefits of sauna and infrared, what it's going to do is it's going to reduce inflammation in your skin. It's very detoxing. You're going to make sure you're not tearing your muscles. Your recovery is 10 times faster. I don't know about 10. Don't quote me on 10, but it feels like it. You work out for 35 to 45 minutes. You feel like you were working out for 2 hours. Also, the strength training, I saw the fastest results. We're always so hard on ourselves, right? But when I look at pictures of myself from a couple years ago when I was doing weight training and Hotworks every day, I was banging. I'm getting back there. They're all over the United States. They're all over. It's 24 hours. As many classes as you want for $70 for one location, or if you do $80, you can go anywhere in the United States, anytime, as many times as you want a day. It's awesome. They also have a little gym in there, just a little like gym, and they're awesome. I absolutely love them. They have a diet tracks. They have supplements. It's an awesome place. You get a free class when you go. If you go during business hours, I would really suggest to look into it and try it. It's amazing. As somebody who, like, I tried True Fusion. I don't know if they have that everywhere, but in Vegas, it was like a big class that is kind of like a one and all class in a hot room with tons of people. I don't need your sweaty balls in my face. I don't need you farting in my face. I also like to scream and yell at the instructor. So I like to be in there by myself telling you to shut up, but also like to push myself. And I'm kind of self-conscious, so I like to really push myself and not worry about, do I look stupid? Am I doing this right? Is my sweaty booty in someone's face? You know, I don't want to have to worry about that. And I like to work out by myself. It's like meditation in its own. Absolutely love it. So I would really recommend trying that place. It is amazing. I really pushed myself. I got to a point where I could do a gosh, I can't even remember the name. Like a push-up, like halfway. What do they call that? Anyways, for 3 minutes. That, for me, that's huge. And I really liked how I was able to push myself. I would go in 10 minutes before, or I go in 10 minutes before, and I sit there and I meditate and I say, I'm doing this for myself, by myself. And I leave there always feeling so good and like proud of myself that I pushed myself. So I can't wait to get back to doing that every single day. It is so good. And you detox physically, mentally, spiritually. Absolutely love it. Another thing, foot zoning, especially if you are in Salt Lake, and I will put her link in here. My favorite magical foot wizard, she does foot zoning. It is part of Chinese medicine. Just like in, if you've ever been to an esthetician, or if you are an esthetician, you know about face mapping. I can tell what's wrong or what organ is in your body is acting out by where you're breaking out on your face. The body is an amazing thing. It wants you to be healthy and happy, and it's going to point those things out to you. Sorry, I have to get rid of that. And so I can tell what's wrong with your organs on your face. Same with your foot, or probably even your hand. You can tell what's inflamed. Also, along with just finding out what organ is inflamed, we also hold trauma in our body and in our organs. Like if you have knots in your shoulders, oh God, that feels good. That probably means you have a lot of stress and burdens. Going to my foot zone, her name is Karen. She is amazing. Again, you have to check her out, especially if you're in Salt Lake. She, like, I have a lot of lung issues. I probably have asthma. Added to the list is grief. I've had a lot of grief in my life, and so you can tell if your lungs are heavy, that's grief. I just had a session yesterday and it was amazing. I giggle because every time I go and we look up in the book. So she, you go, you talk about what's going on with your life, and then she tells you, how does your liver feel? How does your whatever? And then you look up in the book what stored emotions are in there. And mine's always anger. Oops. But that's one thing we're working on, is finding out what anger. So mine was awkward colon. I guess you hold a lot of anger. I do. And so one thing we worked on is being like, anger can be a tool that you use. So I'm working on this week with expressing my anger, but also letting it go. But anyways, I digress. So not only does it help you realize where your stored emotions are, it helps you release and really regulate your nervous system. Regulating your nervous system is everything. The older I get, the more I realize, and we'll do a whole nother video on spirituality and how regulating your nervous system is allowing your body space to receive your blessings, to receive new, to let go, to purge. It is an amazing thing. I would highly suggest that you find somebody in your area who does foot zoning or Chinese medicine. And absolutely, if you're in Utah, check out my girl Karen. She is amazing. I love her so much. I love her as a human being. She also, I don't know how she feels about this part, but she's also such a beautiful spiritual human being. She meditates and she gets messages for you, and she is dead on. Honestly, the reason that I went to her is I do spiritual work myself, and obviously everybody deserves and needs someone to hold space for you and help you manage your energy. But my little sister who lives here went to her, and side note, I'm also a medium. Hi, I talk to dead people. A whole nother video. She ended up telling her, and she didn't know anything about her either. She had never met her, didn't know anything about her. She ended up telling her the same things I had told my little sister personally. So I was like, oh, somebody I can trust. I need to go to her. So not only does she help you learn to process your emotions, regulate your nervous system, she is a spiritual guide. She probably doesn't like that. That'll probably make her uncomfortable. I'm so sorry, but she is just so in tune. She's such an amazing friend and person, and someone I look up to and just honor her and appreciate her. She just is amazing. So I would look into that for your mental wellness. It is life-changing. On top of that, I also meditate. That can probably go into the spiritual video and the spiritual practices I do, but regulating your nervous system is everything. And so I put one hand on my heart, and I have a lot of anxiety. I'm going through it. We'll get into that as well. Different video. But one thing that helps me when I'm having anxiety and a hard time releasing things, I put one hand on my heart, one hand on my solar plexus, and call in protection from my spiritual team, or Angel Michael, the universe. And I tell my body, I thank her for everything she's gotten me through. My body is badass. I have never broken a bone. Again, please don't do this to me. Don't jinx me, universe. And honestly, between my spiritual team and my body, they have gotten me through so much. I have put them through so much. I'm so thankful for them. And then I've also started doing some research on your inner child. And when we are struggling with change, I heard something basically say, your inner child is what's gotten you through all your trauma in your life. And she's stuck inside your body telling you, I don't trust the future. Let's stay where we're at. It may not be happy, and we may not be growing, but at least we know what to expect. And your higher self is like, no, we got this, let's go. So there's where the struggle is. So I tell my inner, thank you for everything you've gotten us through, but I'm going to take it from here. We've got this. Let's go. Trust me. That really helps my mental wellness, along with all my other spiritual practices. I, this weekend, had the worst anxiety attack and just mental breakdown of my life. I got sick. I moved to a new place. Work issues with payroll, and then rent due. And my soul is tired. I'm so tired of struggling financially. And I'm a Taurus. Stability is everything to me. I moved to Utah for an easier life. And this weekend, but we have retrograde and a full moon. And I am so affected by these things. We also had solar flares, affected by those as well. And it's about noticing what no longer serves us, these patterns that we're ready to let go of and change. And so I was going through it. And one thing, I tend to seclude myself when I'm going through something emotionally. Back to childhood trauma, my mom dying at a young age, feeling like a burden to family members. I don't like to reach out to people when I'm struggling. I feel like a burden. I'm embarrassed. And then also you have to face it. You have to say out loud that what you're struggling with, or your biggest fears coming true, all these things, you have to face it. And I don't like to do that a lot of the time. But I have such amazing friends. I could cry. Buta, I love you so much. Someone I know will never judge me. Cochina, all these names don't come from me. They're terms of endearment. Courtney, Caroline, and Laura. Learning to reach out and say, hey, I'm really struggling, and this is what I'm struggling with. I just need emotional help right now is everything. like, and being able to work through things. I am that friend. I will drop everything for anybody, especially the people I love, and I will help you work through things. And a lot of the time I feel like, because we won't even get into relationships like romantically, but a lot of the time I feel like when I show that, people panic and they're like, oh, if Jesse's freaking out, I don't know what to say. But you three have show up for me in more ways I think I show up for you. So don't make me cry. I'm like Kim Kardashian. I'm an ugly crier. Or Farrah from Teen Mom. Lord. Anyways, don't want to cry anymore. So part of the mental wellness is reaching out to those who, and surrounding yourself with people you can truly count on. That is a big difference as well. Why do I feel like I just blacked out and went down a trauma dump? This is what happens when I'm in store. I'm like, anyways, hour later, get the skincare or this makeup. You won't regret it. Okay, what else? Oh, and a vibration plate. This has changed my life. I absolutely love this thing. One, physically, like draining. When I do facials on people, I do lymph drainage. When I do Reiki on people, I do a quick lymph drainage. It is symbolic and physical. You are releasing toxins from your body, spiritual toxins, literal toxins from your body. You do the stimulations, you activate them, and then you drain them. It is life-changing. The vibration plate is going to do that. It literally vibrates your whole body. When I was on there, I felt it breaking up so much in my body. Everything I was holding on to, like we talked about with foot zoning, I could feel it releasing all of that. And then draining my face and my body, and I just feel lighter. I feel more energetic to start my day. I like to do it in the morning before I start my work day. I just feel like it just really helps me get through the day. I was starting to do it at night. The first week I did it, I had so much built up in my body, it actually made me very lethargic and tired. But then after my body got used to it, I was having a hard time sleeping, even with my AGZ and cutting down my caffeine. And so I was like, oh, it really revitalizes your body. So I would suggest to do it during the day. I would also suggest to, God, look how good that skin looks. Sorry, that's the schwing. We call this hoeing and glowing. Hoeing and glowing, babies. Yes, my pretties. Okay, I would suggest to do it during the day. I would also suggest to not go straight to 10. I would suggest to start with like a 3, a 5 for the first couple of days, and drink tons of water, and yeah, ease into it. Also, gua sha. I do love to use gua sha. I'll be right back. Let me grab it. I like, if you could see what I'm sitting on, a suitcase with a pillow. I like to do gua sha. Make sure I don't flash all y'all with these old lady titties. One, trying to do more natural anti-aging. I got Botox and they dropped me. This eye's still a little bit lower. I look like a troll under a bridge, but that's fine. Just not meant for Botox, and that's fine because it's not really clean and shouldn't be putting that in my body. But I've been doing a lot of research on, when we hold tightness here, and yeah, I mean, when I do a facial, we work with the décolleté because it helps with the rest of the face, and the facial movements that we do on your face when we're giving you a facial aren't just because it feels good. It's like memory for your body to push back up. Gua shas are great. Let me make sure I'm not gonna. I would suggest one for spiritual reasons, to get one from like a crystal shop. This is jade, which is good luck. and healing. Green is also healing of grief and heals your heart. It's your heart chakra. But you're gonna want to use an oil. I obviously love the Elemis Superfood. This is amazing for your body. You can also put this in like mascara to help your lashes grow. You can put it on your scalp to help your scalp. Another one I like is called Ritual Oil, which is blue tansy oil from Oak Essentials. I do like that one as well. You're gonna start with your chakra or your gua sha, and you're going to break up your chest, because when we hold out this chest, it sags our skin down and our neck. And so you're gonna put the oil on, and you're gonna go this way, this way. If you really want to get into it, before I got my vibration plate, I would stimulate. You can look up videos on how to stimulate, and I can do one too if you want. But your lymph nodes before you start, you're gonna go this way, this way. I go up. You're gonna go up on your neck here, and then when you get to your face, you use this curve for your body. I also, sorry, I forgot. I like to start in the back of my neck, and you go up. Oh God, that feels good. I could do this all day. That's gonna release the tension in your back, and you're gonna go up and down your shoulders. Then when you get to your face, and again, you can watch videos on this, you go up towards your ears, and you're draining, and you're gonna drain your entire face. And you're gonna go up on your face. Of course, you do this on a clean face with your oil. And then this part is awesome too. Think of this as like your knuckles. You're gonna go down on where your lymph node is right here. So you can either use this part, or you can even use this part. And I love to use this part on my, pushing my eyes up. Now, because I mess up my makeup or whatever, it's the end of the day. Because this is dropped, I also do these movements where, specifically with this eye, because it's dropped more than this one, I push up. I also hold my eye and then blink it really hard, and that's gonna help push the movements up. I do this a couple times a week. I do it when I'm watching TV at night, and I love to do those movements. It's memory for your skin. Now remember, the older we get, the more depleted of collagen we are, which is what keeps us firm and taut. And so I do those movements, and then I use my face Elemis cream with the collagen, and which is gonna help firm, and it's like memory, so it helps it stay up. And so when you get your facial done, and she's doing this, which is my favorite part, gosh, I wish my eyes were like that again. It's to remind your skin to go back up that way. So it's called like the facelift movements, which I absolutely love. And then when I follow with putting on my cream and my retinols and all that, it's going to help like firm your face back up. And when I do this consistently, it's hard, I get it. And then there's also these other movements I'll show you. I noticed a huge difference in my face. I was like, good Lord. My biggest thing right now is my under eyes. I get my French Tony jeans, which love y'all, but them saggy eyes is wild. I do have those beautiful Cherokee cheekbones. I will take that, but we don't want them jowls. So I also do a couple face movements when I'm sitting on the couch. One that will help with like the wrinkles in the neck and the stress is you, on your collarbones, you hold down right here. I'll do this when I'm on my vibration plate too. And then this is another movement that will help with like your cheeks. So that, and you do that for 2 minutes. And then another good one is you can do either like this and blow. I personally like this one. Do that as long as you can. That's gonna stretch out the jowls and the lip muscles. You can also do that as many times as you can. Oh my God, why am I tasting blood? Jesus. That's gonna help with stretching these out. Also, these movements are amazing, and you could probably see as I do it. You pull on your ear. Look how that is already draining right here. Do that up and out. You're also gonna squeeze your ears like this. That is going to tighten and drain your lymph nodes. So as much as I don't know if it's overkill with that and a vibration plate, but I like it. It feels pretty good to me. So what am I missing? I think I pretty much covered it. I guess what not to do, staples that I feel like actually really work is alcohol. I don't really drink. I'm not like in recovery, but I mean, I've gone like 6 months without any alcohol, and like I just don't, my body doesn't process it well, excuse me, and it's not good for your body. I've just noticed a huge difference when I don't drink alcohol, especially with autoimmune. Your body doesn't process it as well. Sugar is your worst enemy. It's gonna age you. It's gonna spike your blood sugar. Gluten is huge. Good luck finding stuff without gluten that isn't crazy expensive. And then too much caffeine we talked about, and too much cardio. It's just too hard on your body. Your body can't recover. So those are the main health and wellness. I'm sure I missed something. I'm sure this is way too long, but I hope that helps. If you have any other questions, put them in the comments and we'll do like a questionnaire on it. And I think the next video I will do, and part of the health and wellness is skincare, and we went over my nighttime routine. I will do my daytime routine. I just, in the mornings, I have ADHD, bruh. This video will take forever. I'll have to do it on a day off, but I will do it. And then I'll do one on spiritual wellness and practices. I would also like to start doing like tarot and tea, where we do some tarot and spill some tea. What else? I have all these ideas. I will stop rambling. So if you're watching this, thank you. I appreciate the support. Thank you for getting through it. I'm new to this, and yeah, this is a good challenge for me. I'm embracing my weirdness and being real, authentic, and vulnerable. Oh yeah, the other one I'm going to do is my story, because it is not all roses out here. Life is hard and life is vulnerable, and I have so much to be thankful for, and I'm so happy that I'm on this journey and that I am who I am. I'm starting to embrace that, but my main goal in life is just to help heal people inside and out. That's a savior complex. I just want to help people heal themselves. All I do is hold space for you and help bring peace and comfort so that you can do it, because you're a badass and you can do it. So I love you, my pretties. Leave any questions, comments. Please like and subscribe. I will add my Instagram and my TikTok. I'm old. I know I quit saying that, but I'm new to those, to TikTok. But I will add those if you want to add on there. And I will talk to you later. Okay, bye, pretties.